Alright, guys, so this is going to be my review of Black Panther versus Deadpool. This was another book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you once again, bro. And this one I kind of burned through real fast. Anyway, so Black Panther versus Deadpool is one of the Deadpool versus comics. I've been collecting these Deadpool versus books because I think there's a lot of good at work in them. Like, the first one I got was Deadpool versus Carnage, which I always thought was always a fight I wanted to see in Marvel Comics, of watching two of the most psychotic characters go at each other. And I was that was pretty solid, of Deadpool versus Carnage. There's also been like X-Force and versus Gambit, and Deadpool versus X-Force and Deadpool versus Gambit. There's also been a few others. And I'm only missing, now that I have this one, thanks to Chris, the only two I'm missing now of the Deadpool versus comic, barring they don't do any more, the only two I'm missing now are versus Thanos and versus Punisher. Then I'll until they do more, which I don't know, I don't think they will. I'll have to collect the whole Deadpool versus thing. Anyway, so Black Panther versus Deadpool, and you're probably wondering, why isn't it called Deadpool versus Black Panther? Well, there's a few reasons for that. This comic is written by Daniel Kibblesmith, who, to me, he sounds pretty familiar. Like, the dude definitely sounds like I've read his work before, but I just can't place it for the life of me. So, yeah, I'm sure if I look him up, I'll be like, oh shit, he did that. Yeah. But yeah, this comic was actually written, and this also is, and they actually make a joke about it in the comic, of Black Panther, why it's called Black Panther versus Deadpool and not Deadpool versus Black Panther, is because this was meant to be promotion for the first Black Panther movie. And they actually, like, there's a joke in here where Wade goes, I was totally fine when Marvel said you were going to get top billing, but this is ridiculous. So yeah, it's more of like, hey, this was just promotional comic for that. The comic also has a lot of great, like, jabs at Disney. Like, there's one of the best jokes in here is when Deadpool walks into T'Challa's throne room and he goes, Hakuna Matata, Your Majesty. And Suri goes, oh my god, that is literally the worst thing he could have said. So there's that. So if you're wondering how this comic is, this comic just, Kibblesmith fully acknowledges that this comic is batshit dumb, and he just goes with the full, like, fight team-up thing. He's like, you've seen this before, you know how this is gonna go, so let's cut the bullshit. He even has Deadpool explain what's going on in the book. Like, he says, we're gonna fight over a misunderstanding, and then we're gonna team up to fight a bigger threat, and then walk away as friends, or at least close allies. And yeah, he just tells you the whole plot of the book. So the story is that Black Panther, T'Challa, who in this point is king. He's not king currently in the comics, but yeah, as king, he's kind of feeling like everything. And they even make a joke about this. Is like, it feels like every issue you just contemplate of being the king. So T'Challa is feeling all sad and shit that he's not giving any heirs, and he doesn't know how he deals with being the king. Every Black Panther, like almost every Black Panther writer who isn't talented enough, just falls back on that. Meanwhile, in New York, Wade is in the middle of battling the Wrecker, and during that fight with him, a shard of metal goes into Willie Lumpkin's chest, and Deadpool goes to Wakanda to get a piece of vibranium that is needed for the surgery. To save Willie Lumpkin's life. And he doesn't, keep in mind, he doesn't know Willie Lumpkin. He's just like, plot convenience! I need to go to Wakanda! They even forget about Willie halfway through the book. Like, yeah. So, of course, so T'Challa just says, hey, you're not getting the piece of vibranium because I'm afraid you might get a bullet. And Deadpool won't tell him the real reason because he knows he's in this comic. And the two get into a fight. So this comic does make a lot of, this comic has a lot of fun jokes, like, there's a moment where, like, Wade is like, I can legally say this now without any contact from Disney lawyers. Let's get dangerous! Then, of course, there's a lot of, like, in-jokes, like, you see Wade with a warthog and a meerkat. I can't imagine what they're referencing there. Um, there's a lot of great jokes in here. I also will say that there's just some insane shit that happens in this book too. I will say also the art, it's pretty liney, and also it feels like scribbles at some point with the faces. There's but I think it works. Like, I feel like the scritchiness of this artwork works for just the kind of high energy you need for this comic. So I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that. Like, I do have one problem with the art, and that is, for some reason or another, whenever Wade is talking, it looks like on his mask he has like this smiley face around his mouth. And I know that it's supposed to be like the artist rendition of like Deadpool talking through the mask, but it just looks like he just drew a goddamn smiley face on his mask, and it's not working. The comic is incredibly predictable and dumb, but it knows it's predictable and dumb, and it's like I said earlier, this comic almost looks at you and goes, "We've done this enough. You know the plot. You know it's called Deadpool versus. You know what you came for, so let's get to it." The villain they use in the book too is one you would not expect. It's Jack-o'-lantern, and I always enjoy seeing Jack-o'-lantern show up. And he's used pretty here just for the sake of we needed a villain. The fights between Wade and T'Challa are pretty solid, but it's also, this comic just goes through the motion, and it's just one giant joke, which I appreciate for this one. There's a lot of digs at the movie too, like, "You will be banished from Wakanda forever," and that's when Wade goes, "Oh, Wakanda Forever. That's a cool sounding title. I'm sure it won't be used and recanonized into a catchphrase that you'll use in comics and totally pretend like it's always been there." So Kibblesmith understood the homework here. So, do I recommend Black Panther versus Deadpool? Yeah, I kind of do. It's fun, it's dumb, and it knows what it wants to be and goes on its merry way. So if you enjoy like seeing if you enjoy Deadpool in short bursts, here you go. But yeah. Anyway, so I'd like to thank Chris once again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sending me this book and others. And yeah, if you've read Black Panther versus Deadpool, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.